U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland has appointed a special counsel to oversee the criminal investigations into former President Donald Trump. Garland says several developments, including Mr. Trump's announcement that he will run for the White House in 2024, spurred his decision.
Based on recent developments, including the former president's announcement that he is a candidate for president in the next election, and the sitting president's stated intention to be a candidate as well, I have concluded that it is in the public interest to appoint a special counsel.
Special counsel Jack Smith will lead the Justice Department's probes into the classified documents seized from Mar-a-Lago and parts of the January 6th investigation. In addition to those cases, there's still a New York State investigation into the Trump Organization and an inquiry into the former president's efforts to overturn the 2020 election in Georgia. Let's bring in CBS News Chief National Affairs and Justice Correspondent Jeff Pegues. Jeff, how did the Attorney General explain his special counsel decision?
Well, he likes to remind us that, he's someone who tries to go by the book. And so in this case, it just got to the point where they felt compelled here to appoint a special counsel, in part. And the rationale that the Attorney General gave was this fact that the former president threw his hat in the ring earlier this week as he announced his intent to seek the presidency in 2024. And so that was one factor there. And then, of course, the Attorney General also mentioned that the current president, Biden, is intent, he said, even though the current president hasn't officially thrown his hat in the ring, but it's just setting up the likelihood that they could face off again in a general election. And so that was part of the rationale that the Attorney General used in appointing this special counsel.
Jeff, what's the backstory on the new special counsel, Jack Smith?
Well, he really is an interesting guy. He's obviously not a household name. Of course, he will be after he deals with these investigations. But he is someone who is Harvard educated. We're told by people who've worked with him in the past that he is a hard-charging prosecutor. He likes to take on the big, tough cases, and he's a trial attorney, so he is someone who knows his way around a courtroom. He has also spent some time at The Hague prosecuting war crimes, so he is experienced. Obviously, this is the most high-profile assignment he has had. And no doubt he has a lot on his plate. What we're talking about here, of course, is the potential for charging a former president of the United States. So this is a case that where he will be under the microscope. His decisions, whatever they may be, are going to be dissected. And so what we're hearing, though, is he is somebody who can handle the spotlight. We'll see in the coming weeks and months.
Jeff Pegues, thanks. And joining us now to break down the politics of this special counsel appointment is CBS News congressional correspondent Scott MacFarlane. Scott, we were all listening to that statement from the Attorney General. He said very specifically this would be the Mar-a-Lago investigation and then also elements of the January 6th investigation. You've been following that from the very beginning, so decode that for us.
Well, the rioters themselves, those who are charged with breaking, entering, attacking police, stealing things, they'll continue to be prosecuted by the U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia. We know that because Merrick Garland said as much. And the way he phrased that component of the investigation for the special counsel is important, that the special counsel will continue the investigation into the entity or people who tried to block the peaceful transfer of power. That brings it to a much broader spectrum than just those who are inside the Capitol that day, potentially including anybody who would have incited a riot, those who may have been deemed responsible for sending or motivating the rioters for going inside. A much bigger picture, potentially a much different cast of characters than those being prosecuted now.
Okay, so let's talk about the timing of this announcement. It comes as Republicans take control of the House.
Yeah, that was not a criteria or a reason Merrick Garland mentioned for his naming a special counsel, but it's really relevant. House Republicans take over the majority January 3rd. They have been unambiguous. They plan aggressive investigations into the Justice Department. What this announcement does is potentially, at least partially, insulate the Attorney General and his top deputies from being sworn under oath and sitting before these new Republican House panels and being asked about Mar-a-Lago and about January 6th. They'll likely still be asked to appear. They'll likely still be put under oath, and they likely still will be asked those questions. But, Catherine, now they can respond. We've appointed a special counsel. The questions are best directed to him.
And do you think this announcement will increase calls from the GOP for the appointment of a special counsel for the Hunter Biden investigation?
Absolutely. And we saw that those calls amplified September 19th when a group of about 36 Republican senators say we need a special counsel for Hunter Biden because he's the president's son. This is a circumstance in which you want to be beyond reproach. You want an independent or special counsel. Yeah, that's going to amplify these calls now that a special counsel's been named under these circumstances and with this iterated criteria.
Scott MacFarlane, thank you.